Alright, so I probably asked you to track your food through MyFitnessPal. Now, if you've never done it before, or even if you've done it before, there is few things that I want to make clear, even before we go into the technicality of how to use the app per se. There is few things, few mistakes that we want to avoid before we even start using the app. So, first of all, when you open the app, you will set it up and it will ask you for your weight and different your weight, your age, and other datas. And based on that, and based on your activity level and the rate of weight loss or weight gain that you want, it will give you like different calorie target. Now, forget about that because I will do that calculation for you. Obviously, the app is an app, and depending on what you say, like if you say you want like a quick fat loss, it will give you a quick fat loss like numbers, and they might not be the best accurate. So forget about that. I will give you the numbers, so that will be sorted for you. So number two, obviously, when using MyFitnessPal, if you want to be as accurate as possible, you will need to start weighing your food. Obviously, with meat and stuff like that, it will be easier because it comes in half a kilo, 1 kilo portions, and then you can kind of batch cooking from there. So for best accuracy, try to weigh as much as possible, as often as possible, at least at the beginning, so you get used to see what actual the portion size is. What 100 grams of chicken breast, what does it look like, how big it is, so you can actually get ready one day to highball. But at the moment, try to measure everything, especially because there is stuff like maybe like some cooking oils like olive oils or even like peanut butter. If you go by the spoon, sometimes it could be more than what is actually a spoon supposed to be. So measure, weigh everything at the beginning to make sure that you're gonna go for the long term. So one good thing about MyFitnessPal, it actually has a very good feature, which is you can scan the package of the food and it will tell you all the macros. So normally that would be the most accurate scenario. However, if you go and search for like chicken breast, there will be probably hundreds of different results, and probably they will have slightly different results. Now, my suggestion, it can be very confusing, I understand. My suggestion is to stick to one. And the good thing is that once you select one, the next time you go and search for it, it will kind of save the one you used before. So then make sure you always use the same one, because consistency in this case is better than accuracy. Alright, big question this one. Shall I go for the raw or the cooked? Now, try to go for raw as often as you can. That will give you the best idea, the most accurate value. Why? Because 100 grams of raw chicken breast might become 80 grams cooked, might become 70 grams. So if you want to be accurate, measure it when it's raw. And the same thing for stuff like rice, pasta. When you cook this stuff, it will change the way. So just make sure that if you put 100 grams of rice, is it 100 grams, did you measure it when it was raw or when it's cooked? Because it's going to be, in that case, a massive difference. So another big question that I get often is, what if I cook in batch? Like, what if I do like a meal prep? And to be honest, the solution is very easy. Like, for example, I buy every week 1 kilo of minced beef. Now, in this 1 kilo of minced beef, I make 5 portions that I'm gonna have at dinner. So it's going to be basically 200 grams of raw minced beef per portion. Now, because I cook in a batch, maybe some days I might eat like 180, one days I might eat 210. But at the end of the week, I will always add the kilo of beef. So even though it's not accurate day by day, because maybe I don't measure it again because it's cooked, so I don't measure it again, it's still accurate throughout the week. So again, measure when it's raw, and if you're cooking in batches, then just measure, okay, I cooked a kilo of chicken breast, how many portions I'm gonna make out of it, and then you divide the kilo divided by the portions. That's gonna be your weight per portion that you're gonna put in your MyFitnessPal. So to make it easy for you, that's what I do. I do not count vegetables. So vegetables normally have very low calorie, and there's no point counting them in. However, sweet potatoes are not vegetables. So when you put those in, those counts as carbs, and you should put them in. But stuff like spinach, kale, even broccoli, for example, they're not gonna count as much. So just leave it out. Make it easy. You don't wanna, literally put everything in there. I mean, you wanna put everything that has, loads of calories, and you wanna make sure you track it. But stuff like that, there is no point. One thing that is very important is make sure you count condiments and the stuff that you're using for cooking. So if you're using butter, make sure you count the butter that you're using. If you're using olive oil, anything that you use to cook, that needs to be put in. It needs to be weighed as well, because there can be a lot of calories and that you might be missing. Also, like marinades and condiments, like sauces and stuff like that, those needs to go in as well, because they might have lots of calories as well. Spices, salt, like pepper, that doesn't need to go. That's should be quite straightforward. Now this is a big one. If you got a Fitbit or an Apple Watch and they link together, what it might happen that your MyFitnessPal will tell you to subtract the calories that you burn during a workout to the calories that you eat. However, when I calculate the calories for you, I also incorporate your activity levels. Okay, so the workouts that you do, all the cardio that you do. So my calorie calculation already take into consideration your activity level, so you don't need to subtract anymore. So even though you burn 1,000 calories with a cardio session, you don't need to eat an extra 1,000 calories, because those are already counted in my calorie calculation. So please forget about that, and if you can, actually try to take off the option of what's it called? What? And the final consideration when you're using MyFitnessPal, it is, if I'm what if I'm going out for dinner, or I'm out for for lunch or whatever. Now, if it's like if it's possible to count them in, so maybe you can check maybe some big restaurant chain, they might have their options in, then great. If you can find the the nutrient values of the restaurant, great. Otherwise, don't stress about it too much. For example, if you're going for a steak, just go for a general steak. If you go for if you're having a portion of fries, which you shouldn't, no, I'm joking. Go for just a generic portion of fry. Other things that might be really hard to kind of highball, try to look for it in the app. See what comes up, and that would be the best guess, and that's the best we can do. You won't be able to weigh, you won't be able to make sure what's in there. We kinda in that case we kinda highball. We just wanna see kinda if you're going for a pizza, just put a normal pizza. Let's say if I'm having a margherita, I put a pizza margherita. Some places might be more calorific, some places might be less calorie, would be more condiments, less condiments. We don't know. Go for the best guess, and hopefully this doesn't happen too often. If it does, it's fine. We just need to have a rough idea of what's going on, rather than being like super specific in this case. Alright, so that's all. I hope they'll help you, and next step we're gonna have a look at the actual technicality, which however is very easy. The app is very easy to use, and again, any question, obviously watch the video again, because hopefully the answer is there. Otherwise, always ask to me, no problem at all.